Alright, so let's use our newfound tweening knowledge to smooth out some of the other elements here in our Puggle application. So I guess first things first, we can adjust our camera's zoom out function to also smoothly transition to a zoom out state instead of cutting the way we're doing now. So I can do that by, again, calling the tween light to function. I will be tweening this, the camera object, over the course of a second. And this time we're going to set X to 0, we're going to set Y to 0, we're going to set scale X back to 1, and we're going to set scale Y back to 1. Close out that object, close out the function call, and we can delete all of this. And that's it. This will work. So that's pretty cool. So what about our Time Master class? Can we essentially apply this same type of smooth scaling to the way we adjust time? Well, let's find out by going back to our Time Master class here. And so now the thing we want to smoothly be adjusting at this point is this frame rate variable. Now, right now this is a private variable, which we haven't adjusted before. In our camera class, we were adjusting normal sprite properties like .x and .scale_y. It turns out you can adjust pretty much any property of a class that you can get to through normal, class name variable name kind of calls. And so one way we could actually make our slowdown and back to normal functions work with tween light would be to take this frame rate variable and make it public. And now I can adjust this public variable smoothly by using a very similar call as before. So I'm going to call tween light, and we're going to make sure, hit Control-Shift-1 to make sure it gets imported properly. And I'm going to call its to function. And again, the target's going to be this. Our duration, let's make this a little quicker. Let's make this go, say, in 0.5 seconds. And our variable is going to be this underscore frame rate that we're going to want to scale up to physevals.framerate times 5. So I save this, and we can actually do the same thing in our back to normal function. It's just that instead of going to frame rate times 5, we'll go back to our standard frame rate. And this will smoothly transition the value of our frame rate variable back and forth instead of directly jumping to the new frame rate the way it does now. So if we run this, there you go, we'll see that we've smoothly scaled in and time has slowed down. And then as our ball moves away, eventually, there we go, we are smoothly scaling out, and we actually smoothly speed up time again. So that all works pretty well. If, however, you're one of those people that is not a fan of having public variables in your classes, you can also, by the way, get this to work by, we'll make this private again, and I will add a getter and a setter to this. And remember, you can do that in Flash Develop by hitting Control-Shift-1 on the variable name and asking for a getter and setter. I do that, and I actually need to delete this underscore in front of the frame rate name for this to work properly. But if I do that, and I hit F6 to run this thing, I'll get the same effect as before, where my ball is now slowed down, and then it will speed up once it jumps far enough away from my last goal point. But now I've done it without having to actually expose this variable as a public variable, which would, I guess, make my computer science professor happy. So there you go. Now that we know this is working, let's just jump back to our code and delete our commented out stuff. Keep our code nice and clean. And let's look at one more element that could probably use a nice little touch. We're going to make our pegs fade out before they disappear. This involves a little bit of code rewrite, so I will save this for the next lesson coming up. Stay tuned.